Good, happy Friday morning, February 7, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Friday morning, so let's begin. First up, high honors in Nashua for air traffic controllers. Quick thinking saves aircraft and pilot. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jessica Moran.
Explore the world just like J.C. Marie Smith with the City Advantage Platinum Select Card. With travel benefits at her fingertips, J.C. can fit right in at the center of the world's most vibrant spectacles. Experience more meaningful moments with the card built for your adventure.
Senator Jeanne Shaheen in Nashua today presenting 3 air traffic controllers with a congressional record statement.
They saved the plane, they saved the pilot, and this is a really amazing story.
On November 20th, 2018, an Air National Guard pilot called the Boston Air Route Control Center in Nashua with a problem.
Minimum vectors and clear the way for me. I don't want to get stuck behind inside.
I took some comfort in the fact that an F-16 has an ejection seat and a parachute.
Because of inclement weather, the pilot had only 15 minutes of fuel left and could not land at his home base in Burlington, Vermont.
I was calling all the facilities around to try to find out what the weather was like to see if this guy's going to be able to land.
Controllers quickly realized a fuel tanker was close enough to help.
Be interested in getting a little refuel prior to going to Syracuse?
Yes.
I jokingly kind of call it a blind date between the F-16 and the tanker. They didn't know that either were there, but they obviously both were willing and able to make it happen.
Of course, the man most grateful for the air traffic controller's work, the pilot, who says he looks forward to working with this crew in the future.
Initiated all by Boston Center was top-notch that day. It was great thinking, and I'm happy it worked out.
The 3 controllers were also awarded the Archie League Medal of Safety Award, the highest honor in air traffic control. In Nashua, Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire officials say plans in place to ensure primary goes smoothly. AG has team ready to hear resolve disputes. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
New Hampshire primary day, Tuesday, February 11th, is an historic moment. Together, we can.
Just days after the Iowa caucus mess, New Hampshire officials say they're confident there won't be any problems with the first-in-the-nation primary.
In New Hampshire, when our citizens cast a ballot, they know their vote will be counted correctly, with integrity, and on time.
Secretary of State Bill Gardner says there are fundamental differences between the process in Iowa and what's done in New Hampshire.
We don't have apps that deal with voting or tallying the votes, counting the votes. People can't vote by using their phone.
Each year in New Hampshire, the primary is run as a state election using paper ballots. Voting takes place in 300 towns and wards.
There aren't many frills, there aren't many bells and whistles. We just have an old-fashioned program that works well.
And to ensure that process runs smoothly, there are safeguards in place.
We are conducting this as we conduct any state election. And in New Hampshire, elections are highly transparent.
New this year, there will be more than 50 lawyers and investigators ready to deploy to any polling location if there are issues.
We will have 100% coverage. in our state. Every polling place, every town and ward will be visited by someone from the New Hampshire Department of Justice.
There will also be a team in place to resolve reported issues. If there is a need for litigation on Election Day, the Superior Court has scheduled time.
It has been our experience that they can be resolved cooperatively, collaboratively, working with local election officials.
New Hampshire is going to get it right. We've gotten it right for 100 years. We're going to keep getting it right because of the individuals here, because of the details that we go through.
In Concord, Kristen Carosa, WMUR, News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Bernie Sanders thanks Iowa voters for strong victory. Official results still not final. AP data. Sanders leads Buttigieg in popular vote. Buttigieg has slight lead in delegate count. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton and Monica Hernandez.
We started this campaign because the old style of politics is broken. Our challenges require a new generation of solutions. We are ready for a politics of belonging, boldness, action. Let's turn the page.
Tom and Jen, we're covering candidates all around the state, but this will be the epicenter tomorrow night of the political universe as this high-stakes debate has even more riding on it after that debacle in Iowa. But after what happened there and what happens on the stage, they're all going to come here to the spin room, right, Monica?
That's right, and this is a very important room. You're sort of seeing the calm before the storm right now. All of these empty chairs will be filled this time tomorrow night with more than 400 media outlets from around the country and, in fact, from around the world. Meanwhile, on the campaign trail, the candidates are really hitting that hard, trying to earn every vote possible.
That's right, Monica. Two emerging frontrunners right now. One of them, Bernie Sanders. We were on the trail with him earlier today in Manchester. He held a press conference at his headquarters in which he declared victory in the Iowa caucuses. He says when the final tally comes out, he expects to be in the lead in terms of the total number of caucus goers who supported him by a margin of 6,000. Now, that's a different metric than the one being used by Pete Buttigieg, who declared victory based on the number of state delegates that he won in the contest. But that's your emerging top two right now. And today when we spoke with Senator Sanders one-on-one, he previewed a line of attack we might hear him use on the debate stage against the former South Bend mayor.
You know, we have some candidates out there who are busy running around to wealthy people's homes. They have super PACs raising money from the rich and the powerful. You don't bring the kind of change that we need in this country when you go out raising money from billionaires.
And while the former South Bend mayor, Pete Buttigieg, is claiming victory in Iowa, he knows that may not mean much here in New Hampshire. That's why he is speaking with voters today here in New Hampshire. In Merrimack, he commended Granite Staters for taking their role so seriously and promised to keep fighting for votes all the way up to primary day.
Knowing that New Hampshire has that thumb on the scale as a state so early in the process. I see it. I've seen it in your faces from those first visits when I came through, and at the end you'd say things like, that was pretty good talk. I think you're in my top 7 now. All the way down to these last few days that are bringing us to decision time. And the importance of making sure that we are ready to win and making sure that we are ready to lead once we do.
And, of course, we'll hear more from Pete Buttigieg tomorrow night during that debate. And afterward, when all the candidates come here to the spin room to speak with WMUR and various media outlets from around the world.
So far, 7 candidates will have qualified to be on that debate stage tomorrow night. Tom and Jen, there will be a lot riding on this debate.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Elizabeth Warren speaks to supporters in Gary. Democratic presidential candidate wants debate to focus on everyday issues. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Charisse LeClaire.
Hampshire primary day, Tuesday, February 11th, is an historic moment.
Warren held an event in front of more than 500 people here at the Tupelo Music Hall tonight. We also got the chance to speak with her one-on-one about her next few days campaigning here in New Hampshire. 24 hours before appearing on the debate stage, Elizabeth Warren was on the campaign trail. As a U.S. Senator from neighboring Massachusetts, the pressure is on to perform well in the first-in-the-nation primary. In a one-on-one interview with WMUR, we asked her how she'll win.
I think it's going to be talking about the issues that matter most to people here. We've got a government that's working great for rich folks, for giant corporations, for lobbyists. It's just not working for them.
Some have criticized candidates like Warren and Bernie Sanders for being too progressive to reach common ground with moderates. Warren says she doesn't believe in that.
I think of this as the real divide is a government who works for those who are pulling all the strings in Washington, or a government that works for everyone else.
Warren continuing on the campaign trail after flying to Washington, D.C. yesterday, casting a vote to impeach President Trump, who was acquitted. Warren reacting to the president's speech today.
Let's just be clear. That was not a trial. It was a fake trial.
And now Warren will be one of the candidates on the debate stage tomorrow night from St. Anselm College, and then she has a full weekend of events campaigning before the first-in-the-nation primary. In Derry tonight, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Cullen-Bulcher, Yang look to break through in New Hampshire debate. Candidates say support is growing for their campaign. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
We started this campaign because the old style of politics is broken. Our challenges require a new generation of solutions. We are ready for a politics of belonging, boldness, action. Let's turn the page.
Tom, both of those candidates will be here at St. A's tomorrow night, and they feel confident that New Hampshire can propel them to shock the country on Tuesday. Andrew Yang had a town hall event today with the Plymouth area Democrats. Yang talked about his freedom dividend proposal to give every American 18 and older $1,000 a month. Senator Amy Klobuchar was at Southern New Hampshire University talking foreign policy at a World Affairs Council event. Klobuchar just qualified for a debate in Nevada and says her campaign will continue regardless of the outcome here in New Hampshire.
Something's going on for us here in New Hampshire because, again, despite being outspent, we have an incredible team, and I am right up there with a number of the other candidates who are more well-known.
I am so grateful to the people who've supported my campaign. We raised $16.5 million last quarter in increments of only $35 each, so my fans are almost as cheap as Bernie's.
Klobuchar is taking part in a CNN town hall tonight, while Yang will have events in Dover and Exeter. Reporting live at St. Anselm College, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Bennett, Steyer make appeals to undecided voters. Campaign continue as New Hampshire primary approaches. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
We started this campaign because the old style of politics is broken. Our challenges require a new generation of solutions. We are ready for a politics of belonging, boldness, action. Let's turn the page.
Democratic presidential hopeful Michael Bennett spent part of his afternoon at the Portsmouth Rotary Luncheon and began his remarks with some self-deprecating humor.
You know, it was the 22nd. I've lost complete track of that.
a 22nd person to get in this race on the Democratic side. Even my mother was prompted to say, do we really need another candidate in this race?
The Colorado senator fielded questions on legalizing marijuana, the defense budget, and education. He also had harsh but measured words about President Trump.
But I don't view him as the essential cause of our problems. I view him as a symptom of our issues.
Bennett sounded a largely moderate tone today, pointing out that he is from a very purple state in Colorado and would like to see everyone come more toward the middle.
I'm the only candidate in this race that's ever won an election in a swing state, and New Hampshire is a swing state.
Democratic candidate and businessman Tom Steyer braved some sloppy weather to greet UPS union workers in Manchester. He says he likes the direction of his campaign.
We need the diverse America that is the Democratic Party to come together and come out and vote.
Steyer also has a town hall scheduled for Thursday night in Keene. Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And let's take a look at your 2020 New Hampshire candidate tracker for today. We have a lot of candidates in New Hampshire today. And here's a look at that 2020 candidate tracker for all of you for February 7, 2020. The first candidate we're talking about is Michael Bennett. He has one event today in New Hampshire, Town Hall at the Laconia Public Library in Laconia, New Hampshire at 4:30 p.m. Joe Biden. He has only one event today in New Hampshire, ABC News Democratic Debate at St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire at 8 o'clock p.m. Pete Buttigieg. He has one event today in New Hampshire, ABC News Democratic Debate at St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire at 8 p.m. Tulsi Gabbard has one event today in New Hampshire, Town Hall at the VFW DeMont Lessard Post 448.5 in Somersworth, New Hampshire at 6 p.m. Amy Cullen-Bulcher has one event today in New Hampshire, ABC News Democratic Debate at St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire at 8 p.m. Bernie Sanders has two events today in New Hampshire. His first event, speaking at Politics and Eggs St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire at 9:30 a.m. And his second event, ABC News Democratic Debate at St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire at 8 p.m. Tom Steyer has one event today in New Hampshire, ABC News Democratic Debate at St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire at 8 p.m. Elizabeth Warren has one event today in New Hampshire, ABC News Democratic Debate at St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire at 8 p.m. Bill Weld has one event today in New Hampshire, Town Hall meeting at Kobe Sawyer College in New Loudon, New Hampshire at 6 p.m. And Andrew Yang has one event today in New Hampshire, ABC News Democratic Debate at St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire at 8 p.m. And those are all the candidates that are in New Hampshire today with events. And if you want to see that list again, you can just go to the Riley King Network Facebook page and you will see it on there. Cruise ready. Spin room. Media center ahead of Democratic presidential debate. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Sean McDonald.
We started this campaign because the old style of politics is broken. Our challenges require a new generation of solutions. We are ready for a politics of belonging, boldness, action. Let's turn the page.
This is the Car Fitness Center. This is normally filled with
basketball courts and fitness equipment, but over the last few days, crews have transformed this into the spin room and the media filing center. You see all those desks there behind me. Those will be filled with some 400 plus media members from around the country and around the world. They'll be filing their stories here over the next couple of days. And also on Friday night after the debate at about 11 o'clock, the candidates and their surrogates will file through here to give their spin on how they did in the debate. This is the official spin room here on campus. And a reminder, as the candidates head into this nationally televised debate, the most recent poll numbers from the St. Anselm College poll center says Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden are tied at 19% at this point, followed by Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, and Amy Klobuchar. Tom Steyer, Andrew Yang, and Tulsi Gabbard are all in single digits in that poll. That's with 11% of voters surveyed saying they are still undecided at this point. And of the decided voters in this, 41% say their choice could change before Tuesday. There are still, as we mentioned, undecided voters out there. They say they're going to tune in Friday night, and what the candidates say will help them make up their minds in this, help them make their selection. So here's a look at who has already qualified for the debate tomorrow night. Other candidates have until tonight at 11:59, just before midnight, to qualify for this debate. Again, the debate will be nationally televised. You can watch it live here on WMUR tomorrow night starting at 8. It runs until 11. And, of course, we'll be carrying that live on all of our digital platforms as well if you can't get to a TV. But, Aaron, a really cool space here. It is literally transformed over the last few days.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And everything you need to know about the debate in New Hampshire tonight. When is the debate? The debate will take place at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to 11 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday today. How can you watch it? ABC is co-hosting the debate along with local affiliate WMUR TV, as well as Apple News. It will be live streamed on the ABC app, abc.com, and can also be viewed through devices like Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. The debate will also be live streamed on Hulu for the first time since Disney owns both ABC and Hulu. Who qualified for the debate? Here are the candidates that qualified for the debate. Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, Tom Steyer, Elizabeth Warren, and Andrew Yang. Who are the moderators? ABC News, George Stephanopoulos, David Muir, Lindsay Davis are set to moderate the debate. WMUR's TV, Monica Hernandez and Adam Sexton will also be part of the debate, delivering questions from voters. Where is the debate held? On the campus of St. Anselm College. And it begins at 8 p.m. tonight on WMUR TV. So you can see it there. Or on Hulu. Or on the ABC app and abc.com. European stocks edge lower. Credit Suisse announces resignation. European markets open mostly lower Friday morning as investors monitor the latest coronavirus developments and breaking news on corporate front. Trump celebrates victory in impeachment trial. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
President Trump unleashing today as he declared victory after his acquittal in the Senate impeachment trial, holding up a copy of the Washington Post with a banner headline touting his acquittal, but naming names too, including Senator Mitt Romney, the only Republican who voted to convict him. Tonight, the president, after attending a prayer breakfast, then unleashing profanity on live TV. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
With Hail to the Chief playing loudly in the East Room of the White House, the president came before his staunchest supporters and declared victory.
It's a celebration because we have something that just worked out.
A celebration, perhaps, but also an airing of grievances.
We were treated unbelievably unfairly, and you have to understand, we first went through Russia. It was all...
The president lavished praise on the Republicans who stood with him.
And Mitch McConnell, I want to tell you, you did a fantastic job.
And he derided the lone Republican senator who voted to convict him, Utah's Mitt Romney, saying this to Utah's other senator who was in the audience.
And say hello to the people of Utah and tell them, I'm sorry about Mitt Romney. I'm sorry. Okay?
Romney has declared the president guilty of a, quote, appalling abuse of public trust, choking up when he said that his faith informed his decision.
My faith is at the heart of who I am.
The president mocked Romney's explanation.
You have some that used religion as a crutch. They never used it before. So things can happen when you fail so badly running for president.
Romney told the New York Times he knew he'd be attacked. In fact, it started before his vote.
I was at the grocery store this weekend, and, a guy went by me and said, traitor.
The president spent much of the day attacking Romney and the Speaker of the House, who was at a bipartisan prayer breakfast with the president this morning. Speaker Pelosi has said that she prays for the president.
I don't like people who use their faith as justification for doing what they know is wrong. Nor do I like people who say, I pray for you, when they know that that's not so.
I don't know if the president understands about prayer or people who do pray, but we do pray for the United States of America. I pray for him.
John Karl live at the White House tonight. And John, this evening some top Republicans are urging the president, after marking his victory today, to now move on.
David, I spoke to several of the president's staunchest supporters there in the room with him today who said that they hoped he would take the acquittal and move on. Senator Chuck Grassley, for one, said that his message to the president is that America now needs a healer-in-chief. But the president made it clear today that he still wants vindication and payback. David?
John Karl tonight.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. They'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.